Welcome to Solish Fam. I'm Glenna Vilmanarang, your host for today. Thank you for tuning in to Real Talk with me, airing every Monday and Thursday. On this podcast, I dive into healing from trauma and share practical tools to help you discover and become who you are in God. Plus, you'll also find a variety of my other interests: fashion, travel, food, and more. If you're ready to embark on your healing journey, I invite you to check out my online course on Udemy, Mending the Mind and Heart, Healing After Trauma. Thanks for being here. Everyone, welcome back to another podcast. Today's topic, with no further ado, is unlocking what's inside. The answer is already written inside your soul. All you need is a time to dig a little deeper and truly understand who you are and what you're here for. For instance, if you are waiting for others to make you happy, you will be disappointed, for you can decide today to be happy. Therefore, take the time to ask yourself these questions. What are the activities that contribute to your happiness? No, it is not a magic pill that you can ingest, but these are habits or small gestures that will help you become happier and better. Perhaps you enjoy walking in the park, exploring a museum, reading a good book, whatever it might be. There are plenty of reasons for you to be happy. To unlock something within you, you must master your own self. By assessing your strengths and weaknesses, we are walking contradictions, and you cannot have one without the other. However, in order for you to get ahead in life, you must not only focus on your weaknesses, not to say that you should not pay attention with them and make yourself better. For example, expressing myself in healthily without being superior and inferior are one of the communication style I must be mindful of. Silence and reflection is another tool you can do to unlock inside yourself. Contemplation. Learn to sit in silence and contemplate about your life. Journal about it and truly ask yourself these questions. If I could design my life, what would it look like? Or what do you actually want to achieve or experience? The people that you want to meet, the things that you want to do. These are some of the things you must figure out on your own to unlock something within yourself. You cannot wait for other people to tell you about your dreams and goals without first acknowledging that you have a desire. This might take a while for you to unlock something you deeply desire or want in life. Nevertheless, by giving it a thought, it will eventually come to you. Then challenges and growth is another way to unlock what's inside you. Do not wait for permission to start. Just start before you are ready. If you're constantly waiting for a go signal and approval from others, you might be waiting forever or might be disappointed as that, because no one really knows what you desire or dream of. Only you can do that for yourself. Perhaps a small voice has been telling you to explore a new project or take a leap of faith of changing your career. Then do it. Today is the only guarantee we have. Many people wait around until it is too late for them to pursue something they truly love to do. Do not let fear and doubt stop you from starting something new. Create something you're deeply passionate about and curate a life you love. To challenge yourself is also one way for you to show that you're capable of anything you put your mind and heart into it. If you're not growing, as I always like to say on my channel, you are practically dead. In this life, if you're not using the life that you have been given by the one who created you, you are going to miss out on the greatest things that God had to offer. In order for you to actually grow and thrive in this world, you also have to have curiosity in learning. As always, if you have been here for the first time, and if you're not been here for the first time, I always like to talk about education and growing. By stimulating your brain to unlock what's inside you requires learning something new, such as reading a philosophy book, delving into something that can help you grow, expand your vocabulary by listening to a podcast that is educational, instead of mindlessly browsing through the internet and watching the news of the gloom and doom. Perhaps you will consider having an online course that's free, which is through Hillsdale College, which is non-sponsored. I have been learning from their courses and has helped me a lot to expand my horizon, to understand how politics work, and what is the difference between Marxism and socialism and all the things of the ism that are sometimes good and bad. You can actually learn for free if you truly want to expand your horizon and be curious and learn much more about life. Go to a library where there are plenty of free stuff for you to uncover and borrowed that you can take home with you. There are things that are given to us that we have to take advantage of. Unfortunately, in this country, we don't usually take advantage of them because sometimes when it's free, we don't see value into them. But if you really want to explore and expand and grow your mindset, you are to be a student of life. Be not stagnant. People who does not have the time or capacity to learn, they will going to be complacent, stagnant, and die eventually. When you're not using your brain, it will eventually going to collapse and deteriorate over time. This is why you must always not stop learning. And the thing about learning is that it doesn't stop after you have graduated from high school and college. Learning is an ongoing process. It is a lifetime process for you to keep on learning and growing. Maybe you want to learn something about psychology, philosophy, politics, history. There are many things you can learn about this world. You can probably search on YouTube on how they make your coffee and where does the coffee come from, or where do they usually produce the clothes that you wear. You cannot just be ignorant and wonder and not be aware of why a certain product is made and how many people are involved. The more you know, the more you are becoming aware of the world around you. Ignorance is not a bliss. Actually, it is the opposite. When you're ignorant, you're going to be sucked into the world of people that just does not know anything. Instead of scrolling mindlessly without direction, maybe you can invest 15 to 30 minutes of your time by learning something new, such as learning a new language. Maybe you have been wanting to learn French or Spanish or Italian or whatever language you really want to learn. This is the time for you to unlock what's deep within you. Maybe you want to go to a place where there's a new environment that is eclectic and it's going to make you invoke into new ideas, a coffee shop perhaps. There are things that you can usually visit, a local museum that you have been wanting to go, a natural park. I really love to explore where I live because I am so fortunate that I live in the Las Vegas metropolitan of Las Vegas, where there are a myriad of things that I can explore. And the beautiful thing about living in Las Vegas is that you are going to be surrounded with many things that you have not seen before. We are surrounded with lakes. There's also the beautiful deserted area. There's also this spring preserved and local coffee shops, and then of course there's a strip if you like to gamble. And this is the time for you to explore and learn. And I think it's important that when you really want to expand yourself, you are willing to travel solo. Even if sometimes you have no one around you to travel, do not be afraid of exploring and visiting a local place in where you live. Maybe you are going to just wander somewhere that you have never wander off. It is a time for you to really understand that traveling is also part of unlocking what's inside of you. I naturally love to travel. I naturally love to gravitate towards being adventurous because for me, when you change your environment, it really forces you to expand what you see, that you are not only living in a box, that there's a different world out there. And when you truly are willing to step out of your comfort zone and do not let fear drag you back into this complacency, you will be surprised that there's so many things to see and to visit around the city if you're willing enough to take a risk and to plunge into something new. Many people, unfortunately, they do not tap into these resources and they are not willing to explore, and that's why their life is boring. They feel as though their life is mundane, it's ordinary, because they are not willing enough to venture into an uncharted territory. They're not willing to venture into a place where they've never been there before. Perhaps you will feel awkward. If you step into a beautiful hotel and you feel as though you do not belong there, and maybe you do not have the right kind of outfit, or you are not really smart enough in yourself, or you're not rich enough, who cares? People do not usually care, because people are also busy with their own lives, and no matter what happens, the only person that can truly step into the kind of life that you want to create is you. So do not allow other people to intimidate you. Even if you don't belong to a place, walk as if you own the place. All you have to do is confidence, and to really believe in yourself that you belong, because you matter. Even if you don't dress impeccably, or you don't dress in a branded names, as long as you are going to show up confidently without being self-conscious, that is all that matters. And tap into your unresolved trauma. Of course, when you unlock what's inside of you, it is important that you must be healed from within. You cannot be healed without unlocking what you have been hiding for too long. If you're familiar with my work, I always talk about your trauma, your triggers, childhood wounds, mother issues, father issues, because we all have them. You must be willing to look at the issues of your heart. A wounded heart, a broken heart, is truly something you must understand that it is messy. Healing is complicated. It takes time. Trauma is usually a wound that has been buried deep within your soul. You cannot possibly embody a newer version of yourself unless you're willing to tackle any wounds from the past and address them accordingly. Without doing the inner work and without honest acknowledgement about your triggers, you cannot possibly grow into a full maturity. No one can create your goals for you, do the hard things for you. No one can reflect for you or contemplate for you. No one can make you do the hard stuff except yourself. Unfortunately, many people are living two lives, and I have been in that category before, where on the outside I look happy. I was the person who was smiling on the pictures. However, people did not understand and know that behind closed doors I was dealing with so much depression and chaotic in my own self. I wanted to just quit in life and give up, until such time when I truly had to put myself down and be humble enough to ask God for help and guidance of how I can be better of myself. We like to patch things up. Unfortunately, this is what we are taught in our society, to put a facade, to pretend, to just pretend like everything is okay and put a smile on the face, even though you are dying in the inside and you're screaming for help. But because we live in our world who loves to perpetually tell us that to put a performance, but that has a cost, because over time it will get you suckered into overperforming, and then you're going to eventually lose yourself in the process. Honesty is the best policy. As Jesus would like to say, the truth will set you free. You could never unlock what's inside of you unless you are honest and truthful of what is happening inside of you. It's like you are truly just fooling yourself and no one else. And for such a long time, I lived that kind of life where I was happy, clubbing, drinking with my friends on Saturdays. And then when I come home, I would still be sad, crying until I would fall asleep, because there was something that was missing inside of me that I didn't understand. That's why Jesus said to the Samaritan woman, "The well from this water will make you thirsty after you drank from it. But the water that Jesus gave you is a fountain of living water, that when you grasp and get hold of him, you will no longer thirst, and you will no longer going to look for something." It is the analogy of life. We thought that people who looks happy on the inside, they have all the money, they have all the fame, and yet we thought they are happy, when in fact some of them are not happy. Some of them are only living a life surviving, and that's exactly what we do, a defense mechanism. That's why we overshop, we overindulge, we overdo things, because we like to people please. And so if you want to unlock something within yourself, you have to really understand that only God can truly make you whole as a person. And I will not going to shy away from saying to you that you must be vertically aligned with the one who created you and horizontally aligned with yourself in order for you to fully know your potential of who you are. Vertically aligned with God is that knowing who you are in God. God said you are fearfully and wonderfully made by the Creator. You are fearfully made because you are a bearer image of the one who created you. Even if people might have doubted you before and said something to you that you are worthless, your worth is nothing, you are going to not mount up to anything, those opinions really do not matter. The only opinion that truly matters is the one who created you, the one that gave you life and breath. And that's why God said, my thoughts for you are innumerable. You cannot count them. They're like the sand. Have you been into a beach and you try to grasp the sand? It will just overflow out of your hands because these are the thoughts that God has for you. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. His ways are higher than our ways. So his thoughts about you is nothing compared to what your mother told you or your father told you, or maybe your friends told you. Maybe you have been surrounded with negative, toxic people in your life who keeps on doubting you and who keeps on labeling you with different kinds of names. Those ideas or those statements do not really matter. And that's why you must be able to shift from negative to positive thinking. And that's why in order for you to unlock what's inside of you, you must also detangle and untangle the lies of people, the subconscious thoughts, the thoughts that you have been believing about yourself, the words that are coming out of your mouth, and the words that you've been telling about yourself, that you're ugly, you're fat, you're always going to be broken, you're never going to be healed. And this is the reason why Paul said to Philippians 4:8, in order for you, finally, brethren, to fix your thoughts on what is true, honorable, right, pure, lovely, admirable, to think things about excellent and worthy of praise. With these things you must meditate. Meditate on the positive things, because our brain is naturally negative, especially when you were brought up with the pessimistic family, the seeing the glass half empty instead of seeing the glass half full. And if you've been surrounded with negative people, that's why it's important for you to really understand that evil company corrupts good moral. Remember that the people that you hang out with will make you or break you. If you hang out with people who are mediocre, average, they don't want to do anything, guess what? You're just going to be just like them. On the other hand, if you want to hang out with the right kind of people, the ones who are going to push you higher, who's going to motivate you, who's going to cheer up on your goals and your successes, eventually you are going to most likely be motivated and do much more about the things of this world. You're going to be willing to step out of your comfort zone because they have the same mindset as you, not stagnant, not complacent. And these are the kind of people that you should surround yourself with, because environment matter. The people that you hang out with will shape you of who you become tomorrow. Do not underestimate the kind of friendships that you have. You must choose your friends wisely. Back in the day when I was in high school, I remembered in the Philippines especially that I was surrounded with many smart people, and they were very studious. And during the time when it was an examination, they would just sit in the classroom during recess or break and they would read and study. Well, I did not want to do that because all I wanted to do was have fun and just go outside and be adventurous. But because I was surrounded with this kind of students, I was forced to read my book and study along with them, because otherwise I would have nothing to do with my time. So you see the point that when you want to be successful, you will going to naturally be successful when you are surrounded with the right kind of people and the environment that you plunge into. And this is why it's important that if you unlock something inside of you, you must also assess the kinds of places that you go, the things that you watch, the things that you listen to. And so, because it's going to affect and influence your mind, and naturally it's going to catapult into your behavior that becomes a permanent. So these are just the things that I would like for you to think about, and hopefully you have learned from this podcast. Until next time, as always, I like to tell you to be bold, be brave, and be courageous. I will see you on my next podcast. Have a wonderful day ahead of you.